For some, they are actively searching. Others just want to be left alone. And there are those who just can't seem to find the right person. Is it difficult being single? Is it exciting or is it exhausting? Today we will explore the beauty and challenges of being single. So welcome everyone to All That Matters, a family life program sponsored by the Coconut Grove Seventh-day Adventist Church. And our special guest today is Mr. Leo Smart. He's an educator and he's the first male guest on our program. And we are excited to get a man's perspective on being single. So welcome, Leo, to All That Matters. We are very happy to have you.
Thank
And
you very much.
if you can just start by telling us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for extending the invite. I'm happy to be here. I just need to basically express a disclaimer. The views expressed by Leo Smart is not necessarily the views of every male. Okay, so I just want to say that quickly.
Point taken.
So you want to know a little bit about me, all right?
Yes, tell us a little bit more about yourself. I just said that you're an educator, so just tell us a little more from that.
I am originally from Jamaica. I live here in South Florida. I'm an educator, a math teacher, currently working on my certification in computer science, trying to be more marketable and grow as a person, especially within my field. I enjoy sports, working out, soccer, kickboxing, basketball. Um, I as well enjoy nature. I love the outdoors. I go kayaking, I go bike riding. I love sunsets, sunrises. I'm an early bird. I also have a green thumb, so I do a lot of gardening. So pretty much, I consider myself more or less a relic. I'm a very traditional male man,
Okay.
very progressive thinking as well. So let me clear that up so that there's no confusion. So I'm traditional in the sense of chivalry, but at the same time, not traditional in the sense where I don't believe women can excel and be the best that they can be, which may also mean crossing over into gender roles. So yeah, so you can call me a Renaissance man if is a better description.
Okay. Are these descriptions that you have um, formed of yourself or individuals have helped you to think of yourself that way?
Well, you know, I have been labeled and but none really fit, but ideally. So it depends who you ask. You
Okay.
know? So the generation before me, older folks would say I'm traditional because I have an old school, an old spirit, old soul, as they say. And my peers will say I'm very progressive, you know. So I guess I'm a modification or a combination of both.
Okay. So this program is to get an understanding of being single. And you're a young gentleman. Talk to us a little about your experience, your journey in that area. Have you been dating? Are you currently dating?
I have been dating, but I'm not currently dating anyone specifically. My journey, so I have been single for a while. Um, and my journey in America. So I have to kind of qualify that.
Okay.
If I was in my land of my birth, I would have been married a long time ago. That because that's the culture and my family network and the relationship we have in our community. I mean, because my grandparents already picked out my wife when I was 7 years old. You know, you know
Okay.
how old school Jamaicans are.
Okay.
So yes, you know, they already were interviewing folks. But coming to America, it has been a culture shock, and then there has been a lot of adjustment. So things are dynamic here. Things change fast, you know, and so what's new today is old tomorrow, and may become
Okay.
new again.
Okay.
So next week. So yeah. So um, dating in America is and of course I'm in South Florida, so each region has its own idiosyncrasies and nuances. But it has been, especially as a Christian man, it has been challenging. Um, for me, I've dated outside of the church.
Mm.
So let me say that I wasn't raised Seventh-day Adventist. I became Seventh-day Adventist after college.
Okay.
So the young lady who I was dating outside of the church is someone I dated before I became a Seventh-day Adventist.
Okay.
Unfor- Unfortunately, she didn't want to come along with the journey with me.
Mm.
So so that had me kind of disappointed, but you know, I chose God over her. I chose,
Okay.
yeah, the Seventh Day Adventist message over her.
Okay.
And along that journey, the more I got to know myself, I got to know God, and I got to know what I don't want. But then you have to kind of figure out what you want. So I
Mm-hmm.
know, so before I became Adventist, I knew what I don't want.
Okay.
Then when I became Adventist, now I have to figure out what I want or what I need.
Okay.
And and that has been a bit of a challenge as well.
Okay. So
Um,
share with us what exactly are you looking for? You used the word unfortunately when you spoke about the breakup that you had. Um, did you suffer a broken heart? Did it affect your ability to move forward in having other relationships? Tell us a little more, if you
yeah,
can too.
I did struggle because she was a wonderful person, and um, she she just did not want to worship God the way how I understand how God is to be worshipped. She
Mm-hmm.
thought it was too rigid.
Mm-hmm.
She still wanted to go to the mall on Saturdays, and she still wanted to eat shrimps and pork and crabs and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, but it did not detract from her personality.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't detract from her personality, but
Okay.
in my hearts of hearts, because I mean, she still wanted to go ahead because we did speak about marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I did
Mm-hmm.
tell her that I planned to marry her and was preparing to propose, but my conscience couldn't allow me to go forward
Mm-hmm.
because how important, you know, God is to me and the Seventh Day Adventist message. So
Mm-hmm.
she proposed that we go to church on Sabbath and on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that's not going to work. So, yeah.
Okay. So since then, what victories have you had? How have you moved forward? Yes, you have a better understanding in terms of the Seventh-day Adventist message, and that is why you choose not to lean into her persuasion, right? So share
Hmm.
with us what victories have you had since then?
What do you mean by victories?
Victories in terms of we're talking about dating, meeting another person and dating that person and not comparing your past girlfriend with the girlfriend the lady that you're currently dating.
Okay, so that would be a victory. The victory, because then that was part of the issue that I was having. I was comparing potentials to her.
Mm.
So I had to quickly learn to basically I just went on a journey. I just went on a journey where I had to purge. So she and I dated for about 5 years. So although I wanted marriage, it was when I became an Adventist and saw the examples of, you know, my fellow worshipers of, I got reminded, and I said, you know what, I don't want to continue living the way I was living. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, she wanted to marry me as well,
Mm-hmm.
but not under the current conditions dealing with my
Right. Right.
spirituality.
Right. So I'm going back to the question that I just posed. What are you looking for?
Okay.
Specifically, what are you looking for?
Um, Specifically, fit, fertile, faithful, friendly, and fine.
Okay. I'll take that. I'll take that. So when you are making your search, well, let me pose this question. Do you visit dating sites at all?
Yes,
Yes. So you get an idea as to the person that you may pursue by looking at the person's profile and things of that sort, right?
correct. Yes.
Okay. Outside of those apps, in church, if you were to see a young lady, how would you approach that person, knowing that what you are looking for? How would you approach that person, or how do you approach the person?
And I forgot one more attribute, teachable.
Teach-
So yeah, so how I would approach her would be, well, I'd observe. Observe if she's, let's say she's a part of the praise team, then I'd approach her and compliment her on her singing, and
Mhm,
or she plays an instrument. If
mhm,
she is involved in some ministry, you
mhm,
know, I would try to be a part of that ministry, just
mhm,
to, you know, get a better opportunity to meet her and strike up a conversation.
mhm,
Um, because of the fact that my formative years as a Seventh Day Adventist was so rigid, I
mhm.
still do feel uncomfortable approaching women in church. I
Okay.
honestly, I do, because I kind of feel like it's not the place, you know.
It's not a
So
place.
it's not the place to yeah. So because of how my formative years of coming up in the church
Mhm,
was like, we just here for worship, pay attention to the word. Because
mhm,
I was someone that would come with pencil and paper, and I'm taking like notes, notes, notes,
mhm,
notes, notes. And I'm going home and I'm
mhm,
studying and being like the
mhm.
Berean and so on and so forth. So, um, so it was I had to get over that hurdle of approaching women in church.
Okay. Okay. We are coming upon a break, but before we venture into that break, I would like to ask you, so are you still discovering yourself?
I am, yes.
You are. And as a result of that journey, that's a question I asked earlier, is it limiting your ability to move forward in pursuing an individual, someone of interest?
It used to, but not anymore.
It used to, but not anymore. You made mention of the word teachable
Yes.
when you were describing perspective. Expand on that word teachable, because in my mind, I'm thinking one thing. So expand on the word teachable.
Okay, so there was a young lady that I was interested in, and she had she was just very angry, you know, and she was interested, I was interested, but I could not understand why she had a chip on her shoulder. So we decided, and also she also wasn't an Adventist. So I decided, hey, this is not going to work. One, generally speaking, we're not of the same faith. Two, specifically speaking, um, our personality doesn't, connect.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember a couple of years later, because a couple of years later, because she's a Christian, she's a devout Christian. She's a Methodist. She
Mm-hmm.
married a Seventh-day Adventist man, and she became
Mm-hmm.
Seventh-day Adventist.
Mm-hmm.
And she had totally changed. She
How
had.
did that make you feel? When you
Uh,
saw the transition, how did that make you feel?
at one, I was happy for her,
Mm-hmm.
and two, I began to question, like, maybe I shouldn't. Because I should have befriended her and then see where it goes, as opposed to I'm looking for a wife, and these are the criteria for a wife, and she must have them now, because then
Okay.
that that approach um is critical. It's because you're basically judging yes, no, and you don't really know the person or know the capacity for that person to change or willingness for that person to change.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, with that thought, we will be right back with Mr. Leo Smart, everyone.
We're back! Coconut Grove SDA Food Distribution every first and third Sunday on the church property, located at 3602 Furrow Avenue. What's better than a healthy and hearty cooked meal on a Sunday afternoon? Come by, grab a plate, and enjoy food that's cooked with love. We begin at 1 p.m. sharp, and everyone is invited. We hope to see you there.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to All That Matters. Our special guest this evening is Mr. Leo Smart. So, Leo, in your introduction, you're an educator, and I believe you said that you are working on further studies. Is that what you said? Let me just get
Yes,
that
ma'am.
right. Right, your
Mhm.
PhD, right? Okay, so what strategies do you apply to help you balance dating and pursuing your career and other goals? Because this it's a bit much, right? So how are you able to balance it off?
Um, s- I'm not clear on the question. Are you saying how I'm able to make time to date and
Yes,
socialize? Okay,
yes, as well as pursue your academic goals.
okay. So the the pattern has been I've been single, unmarried, um, getting my bachelor's, getting my master's. And ideally, I would like to at least be in a relationship pursuing my doctorate. Um, and the reason for that is, again, when I'm focused on something, it's kind of like I have blinders,
Mm-hmm,
So if I'm focusing on my PhD, my energy and efforts will be for that PhD. I
mm-hmm,
haven't, um, but I'm older now. I'm more mature,
mm-hmm.
so I would have to prioritize that,
Okay.
especially now where that would be a needed and necessary escape.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So let's talk about your sexual appetite. Does the same thing applies? How are you able to bring it under subjection? You're a young man, you see young women, you have interest. So how are you able to do that also?
Um, that prayer, meditation,
Mm-hmm,
change of diet.
mm-hmm,
Um, so it's not only what I eat, when I eat, and how much I eat.
mm-hmm,
Going to bed early, um, waking up early, having devotions, going to the gym, working out,
Mm-hmm.
um, the music that I listen to. But I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I only listen to hymns and gospel. I listen to reggae, I listen to hip hop, I listen, and some of them are not particularly kosher,
Mm-hmm.
but I do have a conversation in my head to put things in
Okay.
perspective.
Okay. Have you been told anything about your character that you need to work on from the opposite sex, from your date? That Leo, I think you perhaps are coming across as too strong, or something about you, and you agree with that observation.
I've been told many things over the years because I'm still growing.
Mm-hmm.
Some good advice and some bad advice.
Would you get to share?
Okay. So the bad advice is uh, basically that all women are the same, and so therefore pick one. It doesn't matter. There are a bunch of women about, and if one has a flaw, all of them going to have the same flaw, and so
So
therefore,
these are statements from your male counterparts?
no, from women, from
From women. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because the issue at the time was there was a certain issue that arose, and it
Mm-hmm.
was obvious and blatant,
Mm-hmm.
and in our Jamaican vernacular, basically the person said, "I saw woman stay." In other
Mm-hmm.
words, that's how women are. They're all the same. They're all gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I knew that was untrue
Mm-hmm.
because my mother and my sisters and my aunts and my grandma
Mm-hmm.
are not like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't accept that.
Okay. Okay.
So I have a reference.
Mm-hmm.
So that's some of the bad advice that I did not take.
Okay.
Um, some of the good advice, um, which I've learned over the years is, I have a vision, and do not just expect a woman to jump onto your vision because
Mm-hmm.
you're a man or you're supposed to be the
Mm-hmm.
head or
Mm-hmm.
head of household.
Mm-hmm.
She too has a vision. So
Mm-hmm.
it's God has given her a vision as much as He has given me a vision of
Mm-hmm.
life and ministry and service. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, we need to figure out if our vision complement each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Okay. Describe Leo to me 5 years from now.
Oh, married with a bunch of kids.
Okay. Okay. And that is truly an aspiration, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So are your parents still alive, may I ask?
Yes, they are.
Yes. Okay. So at the beginning of our conversation, you made mention that that influence would have encouraged you to get married, settle down, with kids, a wife and kids, right?
Mhm.
What is it like today? Yes, there's a difference in our American culture versus the Caribbean culture, Jamaica specifically, right? What is that influence like right now?
I'm
Are
not
they
on the.
still pressuring you? Are
Oh,
they
my
still
parents.
pressuring you?
No, my parents are not pressuring me. Um, I mean, because the thing is, one of the reasons is typically make good choices. I'm a good judge of character because, in the past they have tried to and counseled and prodded me to go with this person and that person, and those person they chose for me
Mhm.
were not good choices.
Okay.
So they trust my judgment.
Okay. So they've basically left to you to your own
Exactly.
choosing. Okay.
Exactly.
What about your friends? What about your co-workers? Do you get any pressure from that angle?
Yeah, I do. I do. They s- the men understand
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, but the women are they most of them are confused because their mindset is there's so many women around,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the ratio of, you know, you should be having a field day,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just, you know, like fish in a bucket, in a barrel, you know, just choose
Right.
one. Let's go
Right.
and grab one. And it's not that, because then number one, we don't know if she wants me,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, and that's usually the case. Who you want
Mm-hmm.
don't want you,
Mm-hmm.
and who want you don't want, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also
Mm-hmm.
another dimension dynamic to it.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I get that from
Okay.
time to time.
Okay. Biologically speaking, our bodies do have a timeline, so to speak, right?
Mhm.
Do you have a timeline for yourself in terms of when do you wish to eventually settle down and have kids? Do you have that timeline for yourself, considering all what has happened with you?
So you're saying if there's a time or age in which I said I do not want to get married or I do not want kids?
Correct.
Um, no.
No. Okay. And my final question to you, hopefully, is the final one. Um, if there is this 28-year-old young lady and she is seriously searching for someone, um, her searching, would it come across to you as a little too much, too strong? Or would you want to be the one to show her that you are interested in her? Do you want it to be the other way around, that she approaches you?
I have no issues with women approaching men.
Okay.
Yeah, I think um I don't think less of them
Mm-hmm.
that do.
Mm-hmm.
And approaching a man does not mean that she's desperate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it can be very tactfully done just by
Mm-hmm.
coming up saying, hello, my name is such and such, and striking up a conversation.
Okay. Okay.
And so an introduction, that doesn't mean that she's pursuing him. She's just introducing
Mm-hmm.
herself. And
Okay.
me being interested, then I will then say, okay, then I will pursue. So yeah, but unfortunately, that's the world we live in. And a lot of women think that just by being acknowledged, like, hey, I exist,
Mm-hmm.
means that you're
Mm-hmm.
desperate and that you're pursuing. No, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's that's not what that means. It just means that
Uh,
you letting the guy know that you are um not available, but you are approachable.
okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay. And as an educator, what are some of the books, authors that you have encountered that inspires you as a single person to be a better person, to pursue your ultimate goals, and that help shape your character in being the type of man that would that's able to share with someone of the opposite sex what it means to be in a wholesome relationship.
The Bible,
Bible.
um, Spirit of Prophecy,
Mm-hmm.
um, Max Lucado. He's another
Mm-hmm.
great author on
Mm-hmm.
relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, it's not really about the books, but it's about vlogs.
Is it
Like
vlog?
vlogs, like on YouTube, videos,
Ah,
yeah,
mhm,
tutorial, self-help, self-improvement. So there are some of the persons I listen to is Ayana.
mhm,
I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Um, TD Jakes.
mhm.
I listen to, what's his name? He's from the Bahamas. He passed a couple of years ago. Um, it's a Bahamian preacher.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, he passed a couple of years ago. And
okay.
and another one, he has an afro and he has like a big mustache. Um, I listen to him too. He's African American as well.
Mm.
Evans, I think his name is Tony Evans. Yes.
Ah, yes, 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 yes. Can't miss that voice. Okay, so these are all influential people that you do give an ear to. And yeah, so end with us with your favorite scripture.
My favorite scripture. Um, it would be, right now it's eluding me.
Can you just paraphrase perhaps?
Um, basically, well, let's go with a love chapter. Corinthians chapter 13.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, so Leo, I am excited to have had that conversation with you. And I am hoping that we can continue. To our guests, would like to thank you very much for tuning in to All That Matters. We have been speaking to Mr. Leo Smart, and we just gained an insight into his thinking as to what does it feel like, what does it mean to be single. So thank you very much, Leo, for joining us this evening.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.